oppression of the people of the world, including little children, from Mexico to China to the Congo?
Hell no!
Is America great today when it wages a genocide against black and brown people by having its murdering pigs, its murdering police shoot them down without any consequence?
Hell no!
This whole system is criminal. This event is masquerading as talking about a tragedy, but it's actually promoting a racist, fascist, xenophobic agenda. Illegal immigrants are not the real criminals. The criminals are this country and this entire system that feeds off the exploitation and oppression of the people of the world. We are the Revolution Club, and we are organizing people to get into this movement for revolution, to overthrow this system at the soonest possible time. We need a whole different world. We are fighting for a world without borders, for a world free of exploitation and oppression. What's the problem?
The whole damn system!
What's the solution?
Revolution!
Who's our leadership? Who are we?
Revolution Club!
Who are we?
Revolution Club!
Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Slavery, genocide, and war!
5, 6, 7, 8.
America was never great!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Slavery, genocide, and war!
5, 6, 7, 8.
America was never great!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Slavery, genocide, and war!
5, 6, 7, 8.
America was never great!
And my second question would be, how would you respond to statistics such as from the American Immigrant Council, which would say that the violent crime rate
Okay, about things. Well,
More about this country.
If everyone would just be silent for a second so you can answer the question. Thank you.
I don't mind talking to any of you, even if you oppose anything I have to say or you don't agree with me. It's incredibly hard to be here and talk about my son when I could be home, not have to deal with it. So I expect for you guys to be somewhat respectful. I really would appreciate that. To your question about, you said the crime rate for illegals is lower. Is it the violent crime rate is lower? Do you know about what percentage?
Could you repeat the question? Yeah.
He talked about illegal crime rate in the United States is lower than what Americans commit crime, I guess you said, right? Somebody told me it's like 13%.
Now, admittedly, I'm not very educated on the issue, so I think the last time I checked, I think the incarceration rate was something like 1.6%, where the general population is 3% or something. Someone can correct me on this matter.
No, I don't know the numbers, and I'm just pulling a number. Even let's say it's 5% criminal rate by illegal aliens in this country. In my law, I'm going to continue calling them illegal aliens. And take away from being human being. I had a resident alien card before I became a citizen, so it's out there. Even if it's 2% criminal rate by illegal aliens, that's 2% too many. Could you repeat that, please? Over the wall that they could come through, and it's visa overstay. Well, all that's going to be checked, and that's all going to be handled. Whether they come on a boat through over the wall, visa overstay, it has to start somewhere, and it's been left alone for far too long. And I've met so many moms and dads and family members that lost loved ones because of illegal alien crime. That didn't have to happen because it's preventable. We have to stop the bleeding. It can't continue the way it is. And so However, they start with the
community today, as some universities are attempting to do now. I believe that Georgetown is now offering preferential admission to the individuals who have ancestors who are slaves. Then these individuals have never operated under that system. They have never been personally enslaved. If we're talking about individual as opposed to collective justice, then it's far easier, as she's trying to discuss, to address issues that are ongoing and present today that are easily identifiable of the individuals who are currently committing these crimes, i.e. those individuals who are in this country illegally violating the law, those individuals that are now being that are now suffering from this system of illegal immigration, then to commute justice to individuals that are no longer living today and have been dead for decades, if not hundreds of years.
And to back up my reasoning as to why I asked that question, yes, obviously America has had a history somewhat more so, less so than many other countries, but somewhat of a past in which we have done heinous things, obviously, yes. But then, yes, to attribute those things to the current era, we have a constitution that backs every American citizen, no matter their color, no matter their race. That was a direct correlation and outcome of a civil war. We have the 13th and 14th Amendments, and if you would like to look at the Constitution, I think that will really clear up some of your issues that you have with the country.
Okay,
So you're framing this issue, right, of state-sanctioned violence and genocide as if it's like a historical issue, right, when there's still legacies of enslavement and genocide, right, that are still present and that we still have to, like, operate in, right? So what I ask you is, you say that that people should be able to feel safe in their own country, they feel safe in their own houses, but what about those of us who don't feel safe in our own houses? We literally go home afraid some shit is about to happen, right? So how do you respond to that? You let me know how I'm supposed to respond.
Can you take it down a notch? I'm going to treat you with respect. Treat me with respect. Please do that, okay? My son, you saw the skin color of my son. When he drove around, when he did anything. See, now you don't want to hear it. Break the damn bullshit. You know, you're not asking questions. Go find a safe place.
Okay, we'll go on to the next question. You have 60 seconds.
Okay, so one of my questions is that regarding the Trump and the wall thing, most of the immigrants who are here overstay their visas. Now, even if you do build a wall, can they not come here via the ocean?
That should be there. And they can be here if they do it the legal way. I can't give you an answer on all this other. I just can't. I can't fix that. But I know we have enough American criminals that we need to deal with and not invite new criminals in here. Yeah?
That doesn't answer my question.
I told you
But-
to answer that.
I feel like that metaphor was really trivial for a history. We cannot condense it by a house and people coming into a house and the metaphor
That's just
it's
an
inadequate.
example. That's just to bring it to your forefront, because I'm sure when you safely in your bed in your room, you lock the door and the windows, you feel safe. You want to feel safe. You deserve to feel safe. It's your place. I wanted that for my son. He didn't get that because somebody decided it was his right just to be here. So you will never agree with anything I will say. And that's good too. That's okay. I just hope and I pray that you will never be touched by a tragedy like that, because it will change you. It will change your mind. That's all I can say.
I think that one of the chords that Sabine is trying to strike on here is that when it comes to issues of generational justice, if we are to address the potential of reparations for the genocide of Native Americans, which I believe is one of the issues.
One of many.
Okay, one of the issues that you're bringing up, or the slavery of African Americans, and we can go down the list of this history of shame that has been created about the United States of America, then it is far more difficult to identify individuals that are currently suffering from those crimes, so to speak, because these were crimes that were committed in ages past decades, if not centuries ago, to individuals.
If you have a question, you can get in line. Otherwise, please don't interrupt the dialogue that's happening.
Are the UCLA TV good for anything?
If you have a question, get in line. Otherwise, please let the dialogue continue. Thank you.
If there are going to be addressing issues of generational justice, then there are individuals today who claim to be suffering from these crimes, whether their ancestors being slaves or their ancestors being part of the Native American community. Then these individuals have not experienced those crimes as an individual directly, and therefore it's incredibly difficult to be able to commute justice to them by attributing some sort of reparation to them, because this individual had never even participated in that crime, had never suffered under that system of oppression. So if we are to offer reparation,
armed, gun on his vehicle
Right.
and everything.
Right, and that's wrong, and our system, our judicial system, our criminal system needs to be overhauled. But the guy had a right to be here, because that was his country, he was legally here. When you're not supposed to be here, that's the difference, they still there, that's right. But the difference is, well, you will never understand that, but the guy who killed your uncle had a legal right to be here. What he did was horrible.
Okay, did one of our other panelists have an answer, and then we'll put this to a close.
So, first of all, I'm extremely sorry for loss. There's nothing I'm just terribly sad by the story. I wish it never happened. And it's very much like her story. But the one difference is that by virtue of her son's killer being an illegal alien, someone who was not supposed to have been in the country in the first place, had that person just followed the law and not crossed the border or gone into the country, however he did, or overstayed his visa, whatever the case may be, that murder would not have happened.
If you have a question, get in line.
It wasn't anybody, it was an illegal that wasn't supposed to be here. And that's the whole difference.
A comment on this as well. Our comment on this as well is exactly what you said is there's already crime in this country. Why would you want to let someone who is not vetted, we don't know where they come from, we don't know their background, come into this country? They come in illegally, they reside here illegally, we don't know their background. If they're citizens, especially an immigrant, they are most likely not going to be a criminal because we did not let them into this country with their background as a criminal.
I'm sorry, they have immigration law, it's called law, that's who decides.
You are stereotyping. All the structural inequalities in this country.
There's no stereotype. Our immigration policy applies to anyone from any other country extraneous to the United States. So if they have a criminal background, it is most likely they will not be given citizenship. But next to juxtaposed to someone who has followed all the laws, applies to be a citizen, has all the qualifications, and then becomes a citizen.
But it's not going to be the same for
If
her.
you wanted to ask a question, you should have stood in line.
Okay, well, this is too important.
Okay, so with that, everyone, we are out of time for the evening. So thank you all so much for coming. Can we have one more round of applause for the